Hello friends, in this video I'm going to show you how to customize a toy with different art mediums. First I need to get all of this factory paint off the toy with 100% acetone. You may notice that the head and the body don't match because it's a head swap. I go straight in with matte white acrylic paint because I spilled it on my table and I didn't want to waste it. I scooped it up and I'm painting on these bunched up stripes of paint to give her texture, kind of like those curly haired cats, if you can see it. Acrylics can dry in weird ways and you can use that to your advantage if you do it right. Alternatively, it can show off a texture like the star on her tail here that had glitter on it and now has a bumpy texture. But that's fine. I painted it aqua after the first coat. The cat is opaque now, but her eyes are too bumpy for my liking. So I'm going to go in and just sand them down. Some of the paint came off all the way, but I'll fix that later. I'm going to mask them off here because I have a neat idea on how to color her without paint. I'm masking off her badge and flower as well because I don't want those to change color the way that I'm doing it here. I masked her off how I want, and I'm going to select some colors of a soft, dry chalk pastel. I used even sidewalk chalks on projects before, and those were completely fine as well. So if you can't find the pastel chalk, the soft pastel chalk, then you can use other mediums even, and they work like completely fine. I'm doing this on newspaper because it will get messy. I've got these colors that I want first, and I'm going to just roll her on top of them to try and get little random splotches of color. I'm going for a kind of marbled effect with the coloring, but her shape isn't letting that method work too well with just squishing her onto it. So I'll try to scrape some pigment directly onto her and smoosh it into her with a designated makeup brush. Any soft brush will work, but you might want to apply more pressure when using pastels, so I bought some brushes specifically for that. Again, I'm going for a random marble effect, so I'm putting the colors wherever they look good. I made the color permanent with the spray sealant Mr. Super Clear because loose chalk pastel will come off of the project. This prevents the chalk coming off and it allows us to add more pastel colors to make it more intense. I'm using my fingers to blend in the pastels because it gives a more concentrated blurring effect than the brushes do. Cotton swabs can also work and do that. I wanted to add some of these striations to her flower as well, so I go in with some green and blue and even yellow until it looks more beachy, how I wanted. I sprayed her again with Mr. Super Clear, but I cannot stand that texture, so I seal her with my regular brush on Duraclear sealant, so I just don't go crazy while handling her. Now I can handle her again, and I'm going to go in and accentuate some of the white that's peeking through the pastels. I brush it out to make it softer, but adding the white will give her some definition and make her kind of look like an old tarnished metal statue. Going to lighten the area around her eyes and nose for more definition to those too. Here's how she looks so far. Let's unmask her eyes and clean those up. The mask peeled off some of the paint. Great. I'm gonna mix up some colors for her medallion. I thought these purples looked nice, and the necklace can be pearls with the metallic paint. Fix her eyes again, and I'll make her paw pads aqua. I'm sketching in her iris with a watercolor pencil, which would have worked better if I left it sealed with MSC, but I just wanted some kind of base for the acrylics, so it doesn't really matter. I thought yellow was catty and stood up from the other colors without clashing too hard. I tried to paint her pupil with a reverse gradient like how I did my Minecraft pig. And I tried with darker yellows, but neither looked good. So I painted them solid aqua off camera. Here I'm giving her pink eyeshadow with wet watercolor pencil because the dry wasn't working. But this way I can clean it up with just a wet brush. It's just for an accent anyway. Now her eyelashes are going to be navy, and someday I'll have good paint brushes. I thought a beaded tail would look cool, but I wanted it to be posable, so I'm cutting off the fuzz of these pipe cleaners to have a bendy base. Cutting off the fuzz is harder than it looks. I make sure the bead fits all the way, and I can thread a bead on the two pipe cleaners to connect them. I'll bead these 5 beads randomly, except some are too small to go on normally. So I'll put off some more for the pipe cleaner fluff, and I'll try again. It took a while to do, and the pipe cleaners came apart. They're not closed straight, and the attachments and the flowers kind of gross, but it's on the back and the rest looks decent enough.